Speak Daily English. Real English every day.
Hey there, English learners. Welcome to Speak Daily English, where we help you sound natural and stay current with real English. I'm Anna, and today we're diving into something super exciting, the hottest TikTok slang words of 2025. Language is constantly evolving, and nowhere is that more obvious than on social media platforms like TikTok. In this two-part series, we'll cover 10 essential slang terms that have taken over not just the internet, but everyday conversations in America. Today in Part 1, we'll explore the first 5 must-know expressions. These aren't just internet jargon. They've made their way into classrooms, workplaces, and casual conversations. By understanding these terms, you'll be able to connect with younger generations, follow trending content, and sound more natural in casual English conversations. Before we jump into our list, let's talk about why understanding slang matters, especially for English learners. First, slang helps you connect with native speakers, especially younger ones. Using even one or two current expressions can make conversations feel more authentic and help you build rapport. Second, so much popular content online uses these expressions. Understanding them helps you enjoy movies, shows, and social media without constantly checking dictionaries. And finally, slang gives you cultural insights that textbooks just can't provide. These expressions reflect current values, humor, and social dynamics. But remember, context is everything with slang. What's appropriate on TikTok might not work in a job interview, so let's learn not just the words, but when and how to use them. Slang word number 1, Delulu. Our first word is Delulu, a shortened form of delusional that went viral in late 2023 and has evolved in 2025. Delulu originally described someone who has unrealistic beliefs or expectations, especially in relationships or about celebrities. But in 2025, it's taken on a more positive spin with the phrase, Delulu is the solulu, meaning sometimes a little self-delusion or positive thinking is the solution to achieving your goals.
I'm applying for that job even though they want 5 years of experience and I only have 2.
That's a bit Delulu, don't you think?
Delulu is the solulu. If I don't try, I definitely won't get it.
Notice how it's used here, not just to call someone delusional, but as a playful way to acknowledge ambitious thinking while still being supportive. In 2025, it's often used self-referentially as a form of confident manifestation. Here are some perfect situations to use Delulu. Situation 1. With friends when discussing ambitious goals. For example, I know becoming a CEO by 30 seems Delulu, but Delulu is the solulu. You never know unless you try. Situation 2. When talking about celebrities or crushes. For example, I know it's Delulu to think I'll meet them someday, but I'll still wait outside the concert. Situation 3. In social media comments to encourage others. For example, a little Delulu is necessary to achieve the seemingly impossible. Keep going. Remember, Delulu works best in casual, supportive contexts with friends who understand humor. Avoid using it in professional settings or when someone is sharing serious concerns. It could come across as dismissive rather than playful. Slang word number 2. Core. Next up is core. Not a new word, but its usage has expanded dramatically in 2025. In 2023 to 2024, core was added to words to describe aesthetic categories like cottagecore or normcore. But in 2025, it's evolved to describe any lifestyle choice, mood, or moment that embodies a specific vibe.
Productive Sunday morning, getting all my assignments done early.
That's so discipline core. I'm still in my bed potato core era.
See how versatile it is? You can basically turn any concept into a core by adding it as a suffix. Some popular ones in 2025 include health core, chaos core, and main character core. Here's exactly when and how to use core in your conversations. Situation 1. When commenting on style or aesthetics on social media. For example, "Your room is so dark, academia core." "I love those vintage bookshelves and reading lamps." Situation 2. When describing moods or activities. For example, "This weekend I'm in my self-care core mood. Face masks, reading, and completely turning off my phone." Situation 3. When joking about behaviors or personalities. For example, "The way you always arrive late but bring food for everyone is very apology core of you." Core is most appropriate in casual conversations and on social media. It's creative and playful, but might confuse older generations or seem out of place in formal settings. Use it when you want to categorize aesthetics, moods, or behaviors in a fun, trendy way. Slang word number 3. Coded. Our third term is coded, which has taken on new meaning in 2025. To say something is blank coded means it has subtle characteristics or gives the impression of whatever fills that blank, even if it doesn't explicitly identify that way.
That new cafe with the dark lighting, vintage books, and classical music is so academia coded. Yeah, and the barista with the suspenders and bow tie is definitely theater kid coded.
This term started in identity discussions, but has expanded to describe almost anything. In 2025, people use it to analyze media, fashion choices, behavior patterns, and even food. Let's see exactly when coded works best in conversation. Situation 1. When analyzing films, books, or characters. For example, "The villain with the British accent and excessive refinement is clearly villain coded." Hollywood always does this. Situation 2. When describing spaces or venues. For example, "The new cafe with dim lighting, jazz music, and leather chairs is very luxury coded, but the prices are actually reasonable." Situation 3. When discussing personal style. For example, "The way they pair all black with silver accessories and that undercut hairstyle is very alternative coded." Coded is perfect for analytical conversations about style, media, or behavior. Be careful not to use it to make assumptions about someone's identity or to stereotype. It works best when discussing subtle patterns or influences rather than making definitive statements about people. Slang word number 4. Demure. Number 4 on our list is demure, a traditional word that's been completely reimagined by Gen Z. Traditionally, demure meant shy, modest, or reserved. But in 2025 TikTok slang, it's used ironically to describe someone who's being intentionally restrained or keeping it classy, often when they're actually doing the opposite.
I'm keeping it very demure and understated for this party.
Yes, so demure, very minimalist of you.
The humor comes from the contradiction. People often use it with exaggerated pronunciation and while doing something that's not demure at all. It's become a way to playfully acknowledge when you're being extra or over the top. Here are the exact situations where demure shines in modern conversation. Situation 1. When you or friends are dressed very flashy, for example, wearing a sequined, sparkly outfit and saying, "I'm keeping it very demure and understated for the office meeting today." Situation 2. When posting excessive or dramatic content. For example, posting a 10-paragraph rant about personal drama, then ending with, "just sharing demurely." Situation 3. When doing something extremely elaborate or over the top. For example, ordering a dessert with 15 toppings and saying, "I'm keeping my culinary choices very demure today." Demure works best with close friends who understand irony and humor. The key is the contrast between saying you're being demure while clearly doing the opposite. Avoid using it in situations where people might not understand the ironic usage or when actual modesty is expected. Slang word number 5, real. At number 5, we have real, a simple word that's gained complex meaning. Saying something or someone is real in 2025 is one of the highest compliments you can give. It means they're authentic, speaking truth, or representing something genuine and important.
I've been working on this project for 3 weeks, and my boss didn't even say thank you.
That's not okay. You deserve recognition for your work.
That's so real. Thank you for validating me.
Real can be used as a response to show agreement, especially when someone says something honest or vulnerable. It can also be used as "that's real" to validate someone's experience, or "you're real for that" to compliment someone's authenticity or kindness. Here's exactly when to use real for maximum impact. Situation 1. When friends share something honest or vulnerable. For example, after they share about personal struggles, responding, "That's real. Thank you for sharing that with me." Situation 2. When someone speaks a truth many are afraid to say. For example, after they point out a problem in the group everyone's been avoiding, you say, "That's real. We need to address this." Situation 3. When complimenting someone's genuine action. For example, when you see someone helping others without expecting anything in return, you might say, "You're real for that." Not everyone would do that. Real is perfect for meaningful conversations where authenticity matters. Unlike many slang terms, this one works across age groups and in many contexts, though it's still most common in casual settings. Use it to acknowledge truth, vulnerability, and genuine actions. Now let's practice pronouncing and using some of these terms naturally. Repeat after me. That's so Delulu, but Delulu is the Solulu. I'm in my productivity core era right now. That outfit is very main character coded. Keep it demure and understated, ladies. That's real. I appreciate your honesty. Great job. Remember, the key to using slang naturally is to not overdo it. Use these terms sparingly and in the right context for maximum effect. So, there you have it. The first 5 essential TikTok slang words you need to know in 2025. From Delulu is the Solulu to understanding when something is real, these expressions reflect how modern English continues to evolve and adapt to our changing world. As the writer Oscar Wilde once said, "Language is the dress of thought." By expanding your vocabulary to include these contemporary expressions, you're not just learning words, you're gaining insight into how today's generation thinks, connects, and expresses themselves. Remember, the key to using slang naturally is context and moderation. Not every situation calls for these terms. They're most appropriate in casual settings with peers. In professional or formal situations, it's best to stick with standard English. But don't let that stop you from experimenting. The only way to truly master these expressions is to practice them in real conversations. This is just the beginning of our slang journey. Next week in part 2, we'll cover 5 more essential TikTok slang words, including parasocial riz, orbit, and flexin 2.0. Terms that are revolutionizing how Gen Z talks about relationships, social media, and personal growth. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends who are learning English or anyone curious about modern slang. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss part 2 next week. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these slang terms was your favorite? Or maybe you've heard other new expressions? Share in the comments below, and let's create a community of modern English learners together. Until next week, keep exploring language, stay curious, and remember, being Delulu about your English goals might just be the solulu to becoming fluent. See you in part 2.